I'd like to introduce our next performer tonight, who is one of Dodo Modern Poet's own crew. He runs our website as well as being a very fine poet himself. He's got a new book out. Let me just tell you the title. It's called The Glowing Night Soil of the Concealed Emu, so it's not at all opaque. Anyway, I'd like you to welcome to the Dodo stage one of my favourite poets and a great friend, Mr. P.R. Murray.
Got it.
Right. Okay, I'm going to start off with a rousing call to something or other, and it's called "You Can No Longer Be As Uninvolved as a Tunnelling Mole." It's no good retreating into your shell like an armadillo, shutting your small door or portillo behind you on the basis of some peccadillo and sitting sipping the amontillado of which you are an aficionado. You can't just shut yourself away in there. No, you've got to get out here. Things are happening everywhere. Biff, baff, boff. It's all going off. It'll come back down around our ears, my dears. So get out of the cave, Dave. Get down off the hill, Jill. Get out of your shack, Jack. Get back in the swim, Jim. You can no longer be as uninvolved as a tunnelling mole. So get out of your hole, because worm eating is not the answer. Collective worm farming under democratic workers' control after the overthrow of world capitalism is. I'm now going to do some shape shifting in which I turn into various different animals. You may have to use your imagination to assist you in seeing this properly quite a lot, but not in the first case. I am the compost. I rot in a heap. I rot when you wake. I rot when you sleep. I have no body, nor brain instead. I am the living that lives on the dead. Potato peelings, garden cuttings and tea bags, or a philosopher's head wrapped up in a sack. It all came from compost. I bring it all back. All organic, transformed. That's what I do. I am the compost. Soon you'll be too. Okay. Now a different beast. Must admit some of you might notice there's a slight influence of William Blake in this. I am a tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, or in the day and in the shade, lying watching in a glade where golden light is striping down through green foliage and leaves me almost invisible except for my unblinking eye, which only the dying should see. I am a tiger. I once heard a philosopher teaching. He said, philosophy is like searching for a black cat in a darkened room at night with a brown paper bag over your head. It is totally out of court. It is just not cricket. I thought this did not concern me because I am a tiger and not a black panther. But lest some roving forest gypsy passing by with a handmade flintlock gun made out of an old gas pipe should descry my unblinking eye and shoot me through it in order to sell my powerful powdered penis to give a millionaire another hard-on he doesn't really need, I stir myself and pad out across the jungle floor. Yes, I think I'll eat a philosopher tonight, not the back of his head with one swipe of my paw, lick all the knowledge porridge out of his skull with my abrasive tongue, so that I then might know what he was talking about. Or I could, like my northern brothers up in the snow, go for a Siberian, but that might just be like drinking a gallon of vodka. And now I have changed into a bird. I am an eagle. I live in a zoo. I don't like it much, neither would you. I sat on my perch, I glared down at crowds. I dived in my mind between dreamed clouds. I sat on my perch, I stared at the wall, and I saw a sky with no bars at all. I sat on my perch, I shat on the floor. I tried to imagine what it feels like to soar. Then, God of Eagles, may good luck for me. One unlocked moment, enough to fly free. Life without a cage was too short and sweet. Wide London sky, killed dogs to eat. I sat in my tree, didn't know what to feel. Kept dreaming of bars and regular meals. I sat in my tree, alone with the sky. I saw a warm cage, I'd no wish to fly. I sat in my tree, I knew I was tamed, make no move to escape when the dart gun was raised. I am an eagle, I live in a zoo, I don't like it much, neither would you. And this one, I don't think I'm going to pretend to be a vampire bat, because that would involve hanging upside down from the ceiling or flying around the room biting you, so you might be glad about that. But anyway, this is what that's about. Vampire bats could be called primitive communists by an ignorant man, a very ignorant man who does not have leather-winged night flight, who cannot ride out over dark lands on rising thermals from cooling desert and scrubland, following the red scent that remains a trace on the air. And vampires don't sniff after spilt blood. Like stupid sharks, they smell it live, pulsing through the veins. They smell it and swoop down to it, scalpels sharp, incisors slit. The man, horse, cow or mule feels nothing, and the bat drinks a batful, spits a little anticoagulant into the wound, and leaves on leather wings, up in the night skies, back to the roost, where it gives blood, not just to its own babes, kin and co-genetics, like some tight-ass Dawkins, but to any bat of the commune who may share. Anyone who is needy may drink. What is bat mine is bat yours. And then the sophisticated communists sleep, the sleep of the just, all day, upside down, under leather wings. And I'm not going to change into anything else. I'm going to tell you what I see on my draining board in my kitchen. I used to fly high above the world and float free of time, like some star-winged eagle, but I was just an ape opening an atlas to see the maps and tides of history, tribes and empires, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Huns, Alans and Picts depicted on printed on paper plans, denoted and defined by differing cross-hatchings on each new page, a new era. Now I don't even have to open a book. Whilst I wait for my tea kettle to boil, I look at the blobules and globules, at the rivulets and dribulets of water, on the indentations of a kitchen sink draining board. Gravity and history make them coalesce and flow like tribes and empires. One among many may suddenly gain momentum and surges on, a rampant, conquering super blob, absorbing all others in its path, until it mostly careers headfirst down the plug hole, leaving a scattered remnants behind like a kingdom that once was and now is gone. I pour water and some spills onto the draining board, so history starts up all over again. And lastly, when water goes down the plug hole, it of course goes to the sea, and in the sea we find some wonderful creatures who are persecuted by the appetites of human beings, and so they need to be liberated, and their liberation needs an anthem, and this is it. Listen people, don't eat lobsters, you never know where they have been. They have crawled underneath seas and seen things you've never seen. Listen people, don't eat lobsters, you never know where they have been. They've seen sharks having a laugh, they've seen a big squid having fun, and they have learned from schools of mackerel beneath the light of a watery sun. Yes, these crustaceans got deep emotions as they crawl on ocean floors. Lobsters have codes. Lobsters transmit, lobsters kiss with their strong sharp claws. So now people, don't eat real lobsters, just feast your eyes on the plastic lobsters hanging from the Tudor beam, and let the real ones live contented, seeing things you've never seen. Thank you.
That was Mr. P.R. Murray, the leader of the Lobster Liberation movement, so more applause please for P.R. Murray. Now, our next poet tonight, I have seen read before, in fact in a book launch earlier this year, and but this is her first time at Dodo Modern Poets. And Katrina Naomi, I'll tell you a little bit about her. Her first full collection, The Girl with the Cactus Handshake, was shortlisted for the London New Poetry